Okay, Nacon and well, the well-known developers going by Spiders, around 7 or 8 hours ago, I don't really know, finally announced Greedfall 2, The Dying Worlds. They said, well, this upcoming this is actually a prequel, is releasing for consoles and PCs in 2024. Check it out. To accompany the hype, they also came up with a cinematic trailer. Coming up behind that, we actually just came across this new game called Decimated. And all the way into the future, we have what is described to be a third-person survival role-playing game where the players can choose to play as a human or a cyborg. Where here is the trailer. Actually, I don't really know much about what's going on here. Currently, this game's apparently in its pre-alpha state, and a multiplayer free-to-play demo for it is coming our way in the following days. Check it out.
We're creating huge worlds. We really want to encourage exploration above ground, below ground, to peaks.
Now, I've mentioned this a couple of days ago, but here once again, and this time around, with a gameplay trailer, we have Flintstock, The Siege of Dawn, a game by the same folks who previously developed Ashen. This game's set to be coming to the PlayStation 5 for the Xbox consoles and PCs. Possibly late 2022, it is, as you can see, an open world action RPG with what they describe to be 3 major diverse zones, each offering a different environment inspired by New Zealand, basically where the company's set. Check it out, in case you missed it.
Players with a god, they are physically huge. This kind of communicates to the players that the gods will be really challenging enemies and how tough the battle is going to be. I'm excited for the players to explore the world and interact with the environment. It's really beautiful.
I'm super proud of what a small studio has achieved. I'm just excited for players to see something new and unique.
On the other hand, we have Phantom Galaxies, described to be a combination of open-world action RPGs and a fast-paced mech shooter. While at the same time, we're actually talking story-driven at its core, and a shooter game. See, Phantom Galaxies is actually available through its alpha version for its subscribers. It is in case you're interested in NFT-based game, and currently holding somewhere north of 100,000 active players as well. Check it out. Coming up at number 5, it's Moon Mystery. Well, actually a brand new indie first-person shooter, or just with first-person shooting elements, because it seems to be a puzzle game as well, and an exploration based. Probably something in the same vein as Boundary, or at least in terms of combat, wherein apparently something strange is happening on the moon and you're the only dude who can figure this problem. Moon Mystery is set to be coming to PCs only early 2023, possibly around March. Check it out. Coming up at number 6, we have Earth from Another Sun. Well, what was revealed earlier this year to be an open galaxy space exploration role-playing game, actually a next generation console exclusive and previously said to be coming out in 2023. Well, the thing is that apparently the game is now releasing later this year in its early access phase though, and once it does, you will actually be able to play the game in online co-op as well.
Commander, we're ready.
We will resist till the end. We will defend our nation. We will fight for the homes of our people. We will engage those who wish us harm. We will battle on solid ground and among the stars. We will confront them on the mountains of Io. We will repel them in the craters of Eris. We will never capitulate. And even if the bulk of this star system were conquered and in ruins, we will persevere until our fledgling nation grows into its full might and peace is returned to humanity and its allies.
Ever since the ancients left us, and as far as the moons remember, Adelpha has been under Atalan's care.
Now, for those of you who've been really patiently waiting to hear more about Outcast 2, well, you might want to know, 2 months from now, THQ Nordic is holding an online showcase, according to which Outcast 2 over here at New Beginning is gonna come our way with a release date finally. Outcast, generally for those of you new, is one of the cult classics. It is an award-winning open-world adventure set in an alien planet, and this time around, set 20 years after the events of the first game. Check it out. Drake's Odds Survive is also an open world game, although alien multiplayer, actually a survival multiplayer at its core, about some alien named Drake basically trying to survive the 80s on Earth, just like the old Destroy All Human games. So basically, as you could tell, you get to go wherever you want, literally do whatever you want as well with anyone, or to be specific, taking control of people. Check it out, the game is coming to PCs only and possibly to out later this year. Now, coming up behind that, it's Gangstar New York, not Gangster. Well, an open world action-adventure series of games that was first released for Android and iOS around 10 years ago. This one over here is the 6th installment in the Gangstar series. The new game is actually set in a modern-day New York, and just like Grand Theft Auto, it does feature a fully third-person player open world game where you could drive, fly, take missions, and play in multiplayer. Check it out in case you missed it. Moving on, it's Aftermath. Well, what is actually described to be a psychological survival thriller, or at least what it is labeled as right now, and one set in a post-apocalyptic Earth and where you'll be playing as an astronaut. See, Aftermath is in development for the PlayStation and Xbox consoles as well, in addition to PCs. It is expected to come out later this year. This might just be the actual gameplay, if not, probably a mix of cutscene and early developed gameplay. Check it out. On the other hand, once again, we've got Rooted, a survival game almost brand new, inspired by The Last of Us and using Unreal Engine 5. Now, the thing about this game is that it is in very early stages of development and set to be coming out in about a year from now. Once released, however, it'll support co-op play, a day and night cycle, season shift and all, and in terms of plot, the team promised to come out with just that really soon. So keep it in mind.
and you have no capacity for understanding.
Now, Firmament, come to mention, comes our way from the same studio that brought us Myst from earlier. This is, however, a Kickstarter project that was actually pledging for something of north of $1 million to develop the game. Apparently, it is doing really well now and releasing later this year, if not early next year. Firmament, over here in case you're wondering, is described by its developers as a deeply immersive narrative adventure game. It is designed for virtual reality headsets, but actually built to play on PCs as well. Check it out in case you missed it.
You are a thread of hope for opening the gateway and preparing for the arrival. Vite dilationem effere requirit firmamento.
Alright, coming up behind that, it is Trail of Ayash, an open-world RPG at its core that focuses on ancient Colombian tribes in terms of setting. That is, as you can see, not really far off of Vikings, just less cold, I would say. Trail of Ayash is currently in its mid-development stage with a release date still yet to be announced and set to be coming to PCs only. Check it out. Actually, January last year, we finally heard the news that the city-building open-world action RPG Sky Climbers is headed to consoles and PCs next year, which is pretty much now. And ever since, if you should know, the game's apparently being developed slowly and steadily. And now, even with the added Nintendo Switch release, in addition to PCs. And apparently, it is going to be around November this year. Check it out. To accompany the release date, they also came up with a brand new trailer. Moving on, we have Marauders, a tactical first-person multiplayer looter, and also shooter, that actually came our way this April. A game where you'd play as a space pirate, work solo, or in a squad of up to 3 other people in multiplayer. Get to fight, hunt for loot, craft weapons and gears, and eventually getting what you'll need to survive. Check it out, this game's set to be coming to PCs sometime next year. On the other hand, we have Breakwaters. Now, Breakwaters is kind of sort of a mix of Valheim a bit and Sea of Thieves, where there's quite a bit of people that think that way actually right now. This game is sitting on Steam right now in its early access phase for about 20 bucks. I admit it's got probably the most realistic water physics out of any other game if we're being specific, quite a bit rough around the edges and still needs plenty of work. In case you're wondering, also said to be coming out fully next year. Coming up behind that one, well, this is a long, really long time, actually literally the longest time coming if we're talking revealed projects. We have the game with no name yet, apparently, Babylon Project, an open world action RPG set in the fantasy ancient Mesopotamian cultures that's just basically Western Asia, like Iraq, Syria, or basically where Babylon was supposedly set. Check it out. This game is apparently still in development. This is some actual new gameplay, and a release date for it is set to be announced real shortly. And last but not least, it's once again Corsair's Legacy. Was described by the Steam page as a pirate life action RPG open world game set after the events of the books Captain Blood's Odyssey. Corsair's Legacy comes from a well-known Ukrainian developer. It's probably one of the top 5 games out of the country. It is actually sitting on Steam through a free prologue demo, and the full game is set to be coming out in about a few months from now. Check it out.